Hello there and welcome back. We are headed to actually other places from what I said in the last episode. I'm just going to drop by the hub and resupply it, and now we're going to go to the Boneyard. I decided it'd be better to do LA, aka the Boneyard, as opposed to doing the military base. When you enter the Boneyard, you're confronted immediately by these guys who are guarding Additum, and they are called the regulators, and essentially their whole shtick is that they're protecting this part of this city, and they're more or less a mercenary group that's been brought in to maintain order, kind of like a police force. And I'll say that I don't do this all the quests here as optimally as possible, but we get it done, and you'll see what you need to see. Also, I'll apologize in advance because this episode is a little bit long. I cut as much as I could for time. You see here some razor blade advertisements, and here's an interesting fellow who's got all this Nuka-Cola lying around him, and he's basically a Nuka-Cola addict. And you get the sense that the blades here are all kind of strange folk. It's the stuff of life, he says. How much of this stuff do you drink? About 5 liters a day. That's quite a bit of Nuka-Cola. I pontificate a lot, is what he does. Only the blades understand the true meaning of Nuka-Cola. Razor's the woman you want to talk to, and she is in the bottom right. I also, although I've played this game a bunch, I did not remember a lot about the Boneyard. And it's basically because it's an area that typically I avoid. And it comes so late in the game, there are so many other things that overshadow it. But it's not a bad area or a bad part of the game by any means. It's that lady there in black is Razor. You talk to her a bit, learn some of the lay of the land. Closest thing I have to a leader, she says. What's the story? Additum is a slave labor camp run by a group called the Regulators. They tell everyone it's a town. They come back here and take our people and to work for them until they die. And then they come and take more of us. Can't you go there and free your people? We'd need better guns. The gunrunners a little way from here have those, but we can't get them. There's a deathclaw nest in between the Regulators and the blades, though, which is why they haven't done that already. I offer to help and go and make contact with the gunrunners, who are the best gun dealers in the game. Good to meet you. I'm Mark. And also she'll tell you some stuff about a water chip if you ask. Unfortunately, that option is still there, even though I found the water chip. And then I just talk around to some people to see what'll come up, but nothing too interesting. I don't know what's in the refrigerators or bookshelves either. I'm not really super interested, so we're already pretty well decked out. And then you go over here and you meet the followers, or the children. I can't remember which. And here's Katja, and she's the last NPC in this game that you can recruit. And she's a member of this religious order. They're basically a bunch of hipsters that are all about peace and preventing. They want to make the world like it was in the past. However, they want to keep the memory of the Holocaust going. So, the followers, yeah. The other group's the children. But that's basically the followers' philosophy, is to just make sure that the Holocaust never happens again when humanity does get back on its feet. And you get a talking head a bit ways up here. I show you how to get Katja. She's good with SMGs and throwing knives. I couldn't remember where the talking head was, but it's actually just right above Katja. And we hope you found our abode to your satisfaction. We don't worry so much as follow a set of worship is follow a set of principles. We want to bring peace back to the wasteland. The world tends towards destruction. It's just various, little bits of their philosophy. And you also get the idea, there's a sort of a backstory element here, that these people are in some way related to the Brotherhood, that they came from about the same area, and that they fled northward from the destruction and ended up in LA. They also note that they do not like the children of the apocalypse, and that there's something bad about them. But we know there's evil there, she says. Also, you can tell her that you would like to investigate. Well, we don't do that right now. A number of our spies have seen Nightkin, which is a type of mutant coming in and out of the back of the temple. Yeah, see, they came from near the Great Glow, and they came north and determined that it should never happen again. The apocalypse, that is. What made you... Nope. After her parents were killed by marauders, it was time that the killing stopped. And make this land the way it used to be before the war. Thank you, I appreciate. And I think I bother her a little bit more. Oh, I'd look to see if she's got anything for trade. She doesn't. And that's that. For now. We will return to her later. Just for some added little notes. They also claim that that's a library, but I didn't really find a lot of books laying around. But hey, what can you do? They're probably not the kind of books we need anyways. So now we're going to go deal with the deathclaw problem. This area can be pretty tough, but usually it's not. I mean, I don't have that much trouble with it. But I've remembered in the past that it has been pretty rough to get through. I also want to use my Ripper a little bit just to show it off. So, and Katja says, watch out for deathclaws. And you see there's a movie called The Ripper that was out. So we take a few shotgun shells for Tycho. And you see there's that dead body up there. He has junk parts on him. You need to take and keep those junk parts because they complete a quest in Addington. We're just going to slay these deathclaws here. I'm going to try out the Ripper on him too. Ripper his eyes. Didn't really do all that much. Gonna opt for the sledge. But yeah, towards the end of the game, combat really becomes, if you have the ability to target, it mostly just becomes repeatedly shooting things or hitting things in the eyes, because that does the best damage and has the best result. Dog meat helps a little bit. I think I show these fights in their entirety just because they're difficult and they're kind of a special little part of the game. The main thing is once you've got power armor, deathclaws aren't gonna one-shot you most of the time, but as you can see, if they start knocking you down, it gets really kind of hairy. And you don't want that to happen. You don't want to die over this. And Dogmeat gets sprayed by Ian because Ian's really great at aiming. So I just show you kind of what you have to go through for these fights. Usually I would cut fights like this out, but I thought it'd be a good idea to leave it in, just to give you a true sense of what high-level combat in this game is like. And Gonna start going back to thrusting things in the eyes. And then doing some more waiting. The main thing is that the deathclaws don't knock me down. If I get knocked down, I'm in bad situations. Even dog meat's just going at him. Katja takes some spray from Ian that time. You can look at creatures like that by right-clicking and then mousing over them, and it'll show you in how good a shape they are. And that one critically hit him in the eyes and killed him. Did a lot of damage to the deathclaw that time, but he knocks me down, so that'll be pretty good damage. Deathclaw's getting beat up by dog meat. Hit for no damage. A serious wound was inflicted. Katja gets hit again by Ian. And we kill that deathclaw. So the amount of deathclaws up here is more or less random. Sometimes there are just those two. Sometimes there are 4. Up to 4. And now we're going to go down and fight the Mama Deathclaw. And Mama Deathclaw's pretty tough. It's not unheard of to die to the Mama Deathclaw. It's also very dark in here. So if you're a ranged combat user, sometimes you'll have unusual trouble fighting Mama Deathclaw because of the lighting situation. See, I'd like to use the Ripper, but it uses more action points than the Super Sledge and does a little bit less damage, and it uses ammo. But I'm just using it because I got it, and chainsaw swords are really cool. They have 48 damage. Mama Deathclaw is going to attack me several times. And Ian and the boys and Katja are going to help out as they can. See, Mother Deathclaw's taking shots and no damage. Also, the downside of this melee thing is when I hit a monster really hard, it slides away from me like that. And it just keeps on sliding. There she goes. Mama Deathclaw hit the wall I hit her for 75 damage, so that's pretty good. Dogmeat's taking things real slow. And Katja takes a shotgun blast in the back from Tycho. I get hit by Ian, but no damage. Mother Deathclaw took 1 point of damage from that. I actually missed. And there we go. Deathclaw's gonna go sliding away again. And eventually hit the wall and get back up. But it's working out because she has to expend almost all of her energy on getting over to me. And so I'm not taking that much damage. Katja takes another shot in the back from Ian. So far, she's suffered more damage from her supposed companions than anything else. Slide the Deathclaw away again. 84 damage. Mama Deathclaw ought to be about to go down, but Mama Deathclaw does have a lot of hit points. Hit her in the head, and she dies. Also, you get 1,500 experience points, and I'm going to smoosh these Deathclaw eggs so they don't come back. I like how they're all labeled the shell. I figured I would show that. All the different parts of it. And that egg gets knocked across the room and shatters. And I'm just going to shatter the rest of these real quick. They don't have a ton of hit points, so... they're just eggs, for God's sakes. So... and walk up one more time and smoosh this egg, and that's the end of the Deathclaws in LA. For defeating your enemies, you earn 20 hit points. Or 20 experience points, forgive me. So now we're headed to the gunrunners. And we're going to pick up the junk off of that guy. There we go. Junk's picked up. I'm going to make a quick scan for more deathclaws, but there aren't any. And here we are. These are the gunrunners. They are surrounded in some sort of radioactive moat, and they have a gate guard. And you just say, I want to buy some weapons. Very good. Customers are always welcome. And he walks off across. Gonna de-equip that Ripper. They also don't talk to them with your gun out. It's just like Junktown or pretty much everywhere else in this game. Talking to people with your gun on is just not great. So you talk to this guy, and you can say, can you give me a discount? Sure, great. Show me what you've got. They have all sorts of goodies, and I sell them pretty much all of my leftover stuff that I'm not going to use. And their leader is slightly behind this short little guy with the red hat on. And he'll give you a reward for clearing the deathclaws. I couldn't remember that the guy with the big gun there is their leader. You make I've killed all the deathclaws. Now, you can get different things out of him, and I have some friends that could use your help. And that will equip the blades with super weapons and super armor and stuff. And you can also go about this a whole different way, and instead of assaulting with the blades, you can just come in and do it yourself, or you can go and knock out the blades even with the regulators. There are all these other options, but I'm going to take the good guy option here, and also the easier good guy option, and arm the blades and have them come and knock out the regulators. Essentially what happened here is that the leader of Addington's son was kidnapped and killed, they believe, by the blades, but the blades didn't do it. If you go and talk to the blades, they tell you it didn't happen, and that it was actually the regulators who did it, and the regulators want to expand, and the easiest way to do it is to convince the leader of the town who hired them that there's this huge threat. And you then go tell him that that's what happened, and the regulators will kill him. He dies no matter what you choose to do, if you choose to go down these quest lines. The leader of the town, John, who we've not met yet, will die. Now there's another one here. There are two people in this town that before you do anything crazy, you ought to take care and visit, because if they die in the ensuing battle, you'll miss out on some goodies. This guy here is Smitty. He's basically a smith, and if you have a plasma rifle, he will upgrade your plasma rifle. He also has a lot of stim packs on him. So he'll upgrade your plasma rifle to a turbo plasma rifle, which is essentially the best gun in the game that you can obtain through normal means. If you have high luck, you can obtain better guns than the turbo plasma rifle, but you'll find them in random encounters, and obviously in this Let's Play we won't be finding those because my luck is very low. This guy's a tarot card reader. He tells you basically that you're gonna go to the northwest, and they're a very powerful foe there, and that you'll have to fight them, which we will see if he's correct in future episodes. Now you go here, and there's that doctor here. He will give you hardened power armor, and to do that, you need to give him those parts. Well, he has a quest that you need to fix the water system there, and you need those parts that you got off the guy that was dead in the Deathclaw area, and then he'll be super nice to you. And he talks about how they make some bullets and do other different things. I could try to get the parts to fix the hydroponic farms. Really? That would be wonderful. Okay. So I want to take care of business with these two, because sometimes during the ensuing battle that occurs, they will die, and then you're screwed out of your loots. This isn't like Skyrim or more recent games where certain important quest givers cannot die. They there's nothing that will stop these guys from getting nuked in the event that some terrible accident occurs. As far as I know, in this game, there's only one character that cannot die, and that's the Overseer in the vault. Apparently you cannot kill him. And I'm just talking around to these different people here, learning a bit about the city. You can read it if you would like, because I kind of flashed through it. And also, the Boneyard's going to be done in 2 parts. This is sort of the setup part, and the next is the finishing of all the quests and whatnot. And I'm just kind of looking around here, showing you the different people. And also, we're going to get the Blades quest from John. He's the mayor of Addington. And he tells you about how there's a band of vicious murdering thieves to the north called the Blades. And he hires you to go take care of them, but we're not gonna do that. Especially, and it doesn't work here that I can get the info from the Blades because I've already promised to help them. So I guess that nixed one of the conversation trees that I would get. But yeah, I'll give you 2,000 caps to kill their leader. I want that bitch's head. And it says they tortured, kidnapped his son, and then killed him. And then they left him on a post outside of the walls. But on to part 2, because we're running out of time here, and this is already quite long.